How you guys doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Brandon Cruz Daily Fantasy Podcast, where I go and look at loan plays and strategies specifically designed for GPPs. This is a show of people who are already informed on daily fantasy sports, how these contests operate. If you have any questions related to NASCAR that isn't a stupid question, feel free to shoot them away on Twitter at BrandonCruzDFS. Most importantly, take everything here with a grain of salt and use your bet to make entries. Additionally, if you have a gambling addiction, that's just not my problem. Check your sense of feelings at the door. We're talking about the Xfinity Series at Dover this week. Coming out a little bit later than I wanted to. I'm recording this at midnight. Got a little bit busy. I want to do both the videos, obviously, in the afternoon on Thursday, but I had some stuff come up. So we're talking here. I was going to do audio only, but people like the rankings. People like the visual stuff. And also, I want to say thank you for the views and the likes on the Cup Series. I'm not sure if I got lucky with the YouTube algorithm because the views to like ratio was so high, so it just kept pushing it. But it normally doesn't, certainly on a Thursday. The Cup Series video normally doesn't do this well within its first 6 hours of life, even being one of the first uploads for the weekend. It normally doesn't do that. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the donations as well. If you want to support the channel, Patreon. If you want to get my projections, heat map, things of that nature, or just want to support the channel there. PayPal, if you want to shoot me some money, please. $5, $3, quarter, whatever you want to send me. If you want to support me, I do appreciate that. But let's go ahead and look at Dover real quickly. Looking back at the last 4 races at Dover. And I'm mainly doing this just to show you how I think this race is going to break out in terms of leading. So last year in the second race, let's see, you had one guy lead 107 laps, one guy lead 24, one guy 19, one guy 25. In the first race last year, one guy led 120, 49, 27. Going back to 2019 and the October race, which kind of turned into like a bit of a wreck fest. We had a lot of guys DNF in this race. Came down to 4 guys leading, so we had one guy with 71 laps, another guy with 29, one guy with 67, and one guy with 31. In the first race of 2019, we had one guy lead 155, one guy lead 44. So with that said, I wanted to show that of why I'm looking at either Hemric or Allgaier to lead over half of this race. I really honestly believe that one of the front row guys is going to lead over 100 laps, and at the very minimum, probably 80. And I love Hemric here. I know Allgaier has a track history, but I absolutely love Hemric. I was already goo gaga over Daniel Hemric this week, and this price is awesome. I love this price. I love this slate, really. Like, you can play whoever you want, and I know I use that kind of like in a broad term, but you really can. Like, if you're making enough lineups, I'm sure you'll get to Hemric. I'm sure you'll get to Allgaier. If you believe that Gregson can get up there, I'm sure you'll get there. But in the grand scheme of things, I think it's going to be either one of Hemric, one of Allgaier, and then a pay-up option for place differential in terms of Ty Gibbs or Austin Cindric. That's the idea that I am going to go with right now. And I think that's the main way that I'm going to be making stuff. So, like, for example, if you go Daniel Hemric, Ty Gibbs, it's 7,200 on average, and we have some really soft pricing, or very accurate pricing, farther down in the field, and I like it. I like a lot of the plays this week. I'm very high on good cars, good teams like R Motorsports. I think this is a track that R Motorsports should do well at. We're going to see guys go lap down really, really quickly. I mean, they are going to click these laps off left and right, and we're going to see the teams that are underfunded or aren't running as good of equipment, being lapped extremely quickly, and then we're going to run into the stages and stuff like that. So it might save certain guys whenever the stages come out, obviously with Lucky Dog, but I think a good portion of the field is going to be lapped extremely quickly. And if that's the case, we really have to start scratch. I guess we're going to go to the bottom up in this video. Like Greg Alden, I don't believe in the Jimmy Means car here for 6,800. Like, if he was 52, 55, hey, now we're talking. But Greg Alden here, I just don't see it, driver. I don't really want to go here. I don't see it. Not excited about Greg Alden, certainly. Matt Mills, 4. BJ McLeod, just not going to go there. Matt, for NBM, not going to go there as well. 6,300, too much. Landon Castle, I think this is a perfect situation where you want to play Landon Castle. He has experience at this track. He knows what he's doing. I think Castle's going to easily work his way into 22nd, 21st. If he can get in the top 20, certainly 17th, 16th, depending on how you want to project him. Awesome play. $7,700, easy to get to. Joe Graff Jr. too expensive, pissed off everybody in the garage. Most likely going to get murdered this week on the track. If I was the other guys, the dude wrecked like 4. He got in 3 wrecks last week. Like, and just who Joe Graff is, man. I'm not paying $6,400 for that. Kyle Sieg does have ARCA experience here. Bit expensive for me. $5,700. I understand he is in a Mario Gosling car this week, but $5,700. I like Landon Castle a bit more. I actually don't mind Jade Buford here when I'm talking about cars who are actual like cars, not just the MBM cars or certainly the BJ McLeod cars, to where you understand that they are a step below other teams. $4,900 for Jade Buford in a car that I believe will run the full race, and that's not speaking sponsor wise. Like, I think equipment wise, I'm not concerned about Jade, having an issue. We've seen Jade here and there have equipment failures. I think last week at Darlington, off the top of my head, the Daytona Road Course comes to mind, where he ran into an issue, got taken out there. But for $4,900, I'll happily take this. If I'm choosing between Jade or Kyle Weatherman, if I'm choosing between Jade and Bailey Curry, I love this. I know Bailey Curry's more expensive, but I don't mind Jade Buford at all. I really don't. I like him more than Jesse Little. Although Jesse Little has the experience here, I just like the car Jade's in for $4,900. But I'd be interested in these guys as well. Kyle Weatherman, I like him. I'm probably moving him up as a C. I'm just still hesitant on this car. We see him run well. Let's see right fast. I forgot what he did at Darlington last week. He pitted again. That's what happened, because he was running well and then had to pit at some stage. I don't remember exactly. I know he finished 33rd, but he was running a lot. It's the same story each week with the Mike Harmon cars. I cannot remember off the top of my head. I have to go back and watch that. Dadgummit. Same. It's the same thing. Like I said, Mike Harmon cars. You're worried about the equipment, and which is why we're gonna go back to giving Weatherman. I'm gonna give him a grade of D, just because I'm always worried about the equipment. Man, JJ Yaley, I love Yaley here in the Our Motorsports car. Really, this is the best car JJ has been in since Joe Gibbs Racing back in the day. This is a car that, and I know I was hesitant. I talked down on Tyler Reddick because I didn't expect him to win Homestead. Reddick still ran extremely well in that car. He had the experience to carry him. We've seen when guys hop into these cars with experience that know what they're doing, they're going to get a lot out of the car. I think Yaley at $8,100 is underpriced. Like, I'm not exaggerating here. This is the best car JJ has had in probably 8 years, and even longer if you're certainly in the last decade. It's probably the best car, and since his Joe Gibbs days, I absolutely love Yaley here. I love it. John Hunter Nemechek in the Sam Hunt car. Interesting. If you can get to him, I think you're going to have to choose between Ty Gibbs and John Hunter Nemechek. I just happen to like Joe Gibbs a little bit more. I think he has a higher upside of winning versus John Hunter Nemechek. This is a track that I am glad the Truck Series are not at this week, because this screams to me like a track that John is going to wreck at. Very flat, very fast, very slick, on the edge. I know it's John Hunter Nemechek, and we're seeing what he's doing in the Truck Series, but it's still John Hunter. This is the type of track that I'd be hesitant to play him in. So I like him as a place differential. If you're playing cash, if you still play cash, feel free, jam in as much John Hunter Nemechek as you want. I probably won't get to him in my GPP lines, which I'll probably only do 2 or 3 this week. I'd much rather go to Ty Gibbs or Austin Cindric, guys like that have more seat time recently in these types of cars in this package. Josh Williams had a suspension issue right on pit road. Did I read that right earlier? Let me go look right fast. All right, I had to go back here because yet again, thank you NASCAR beat writers for absolutely giving no good information. I'm pretty sure on like lap 50, 51, somewhere around there during the caution period, I'm pretty sure Williams got ran into by Vargas or something came on, like something broke. Something on pit road caused the car of Josh Williams to basically go to the garage. I don't know if it was contact. Don't know if it was an issue on pit road, like a jack slipping off and tearing off the driver's side. Something happened because he kind of just he went to the garage, and like they had to tow him from his pit stop. I'm assuming something suspension broke when he made contact with Vargas. Can't remember right now. Either way, I love Josh Williams. I liked him last week. If I played him in my line there, if I would have had a lot of lines, it probably would have been a lot of Josh Williams. And now I'll probably go back to the well here. 6,700, too cheap for a guy who can finish 17th here. Yet again, experience everything I like to see there. Because of that, I like Williams way more than Earnhardt. I don't think we're going to use good old Jeffrey this evening or in this race this weekend, so we can just go ahead and skip good old Jeffrey Earnhardt. Cody Ware and the Rick Ware car. I keep saying, man, Rick Ware is bringing some good equipment here. We saw basically JJ take a wreck bucket of fuck through the field last week. I know this is Ware and not Yaley, but $5,900 is just too cheap. Absolutely too cheap for this car. I love it. Absolutely love it. So yet again, when I entered the video, I'm telling you, I was like, hey, I like Hemric, I like Allgaier, I like Ty Gibbs, I like Cindric, I like these guys. How are you going to pay for them, Brandon? Well, I'm liking a lot of these boys back here. I like their prices, like their upside. Because of like people priced down so much, I don't feel the need to worry about Bailey Kerr. I don't feel the need to worry about Howard. I don't feel the need to worry about McLeod. Vargas is absolute garbage. Yet again, called it. Meme dude, meme dream, TikTok Vargas, whatever you want to call him. Not interested. If you need the price savings, I don't mind Timmy Hill at 4,600. I don't mind David Starr at 4,500 if they have a sponsor yet again. Once again, Thursday evening, or Friday morning actually, because it's 12:16 a.m. Friday morning, we don't got a whole lot of information. I'm sure some will come out later today, and certainly on Saturday. We'll just have to see. Riley Herbst, if you look at how Briscoe ran here last year and the year before in the 98, Briscoe was one of those guys that pretty much literally dominated the final race here. Led 107 laps last year in the August race. On day numero 2, on August 22nd, the 98 car, the first of the back-to-back races, my bad, led 0 laps. In 2019, the 98 led 71 laps, and yeah, I think it was that one I was thinking of. And in the first race of 2019, Briscoe ran 0. So typically in the fall, we're seeing this car get up there and run and lead laps. But the main thing is we're seeing Briscoe basically always finish with inside the top 8, inside the top 5. And I would argue, like, let's look back at how Briscoe has finished his last 4 races here. I know it's Briscoe and not Herbst, but this is important. So we have a victory, we have a 10th place finish, we have a 5th place finish, and we have a 5th place finish. So Herbst is in a top 5 car. That's just how it is. I would say, yet again, going back to, this is the type of track where equipment is really going to carry those taller, those better teams past these freaking back markers and jokers. $7,900 is underpriced for what this car can do. Now, if Herbst does what Herbst does, he'll probably wreck it and not do very well. But I like Herbst at $7,900. I think he's far too cheap right here. He's not too cheap based on what he's done, but he's underpriced based on what this car should do and what this team should bring to the table. This is a track that SHR should be able to run inside the top 5. It's just based on the limitations of Herbst. $6,900 for Brandon Brown. Don't mind that at all. Alex LeBay, $5,600, where I could pay just a tad more and get good old, where you go, Cody Ware. Yeah, I could just pay a couple more and get Cody Ware. I'd much rather go there. Don't feel the need to try and, play a guy who's going to start 18th and pray he stays there the whole time. Because of that, not interested in Tommy Joe Martins. I would only go there if you need that salary. Like, say if you can only afford, and even with that said, like between Martins and Jade, between Martins and Kyle Sieg, like Martins is looking more and more like a D. That's how it's looking at. I've already told you I like Cindric. Snyder, underpriced. If you look at, the same argument that I made with Briscoe, although he's not, this car isn't going to win. Snyder, based on what this team should bring, based on the experience he has, should run about 8th, 7th, or 9th. I would be disappointed, not DFS-wise, just in general, if Snyder doesn't get a top 10 in this race, because I don't mind him at $7,400. Like I already said, I love Ty Gibbs. Jeb Burton, underpriced. He's about the only colleague car that I want to deal with. I feel like A.J. Allmendinger, I don't think A.J. Allmendinger can do much in this race. I know I need to actually knock him down, because the more I've looked at stuff, the more I'm concerned about A.J. Allmendinger. If I'm loving the Joe Gibbs cars, if I'm loving a lot of the Junior Motorsports cars, if I'm aiming for Hendrick, Allgaier, Gregson, Jones and Burton to an extent, I think they're more D's. But if I'm aiming for the top 3 guys that I think are going to lead, I think one of those guys leads close to 100 laps, it makes it hard for me to imagine that A.J. Allmendinger does it. Like, it's hard for me to imagine that A.J. is going to be by far faster than Barry, than Burton, than Jones, than Gregson, than Allgaier, than Hemric. I'm hesitant on that. So, that I like Jeb Burton based on the price. I like his upside. He should be able to get to like 7th, 6th, somewhere around there. It's, can he lead laps? Can he get you that extra, those extra hog points that you really need? Ryan Sieg, racing with his brother, don't want to deal with it. Michael Annett, Michael Annett is going to take a break this week, not going to play Annett. Brett Moffitt, underpriced, $7,200. As I made the argument for J.J. Yaley, Brett Moffitt, this is a track where this car has a chance to win, honestly. And for $7,200, that is far too cheap. And he can get in a lot of lineups really, really easily. Don't mind that at all. And that's really it. I think I've covered about everything. If you're building lineups, if you're building lineups, I don't know what I changed there. If you're building lineups, like say with Ty Gibbs, Daniel Hemric, average salary remaining $72.75 and remaining salary $29.1, you can play whoever you want, man. You go to that 5K range, pick up somebody like Jade, pick up somebody like, if you want to go with Weatherman, perfectly fine with that. If you feel like you gotta go to Hill or Star, either way, throw one of those guys in there. It's leaving you with like $8,000 left on the table. Can easily get to people like JJ, people like Brett Moffitt, people like Jeb Burton, guys. Like, I love this slate. You can play whoever you want, and that's how it is. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, if you want to support the show, PayPal in the description, Patreon in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Best of luck this week, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.